Hello again. Let's get into The Instant Farmer, chapter number 27. Sarah has arrived, and she looks amazing. She is wearing a short dress. It is a gentle yellow. It finishes just above her knees. Ken can't stop staring. His jaw is dropping. That long-distance stare that Ken wanted to keep is long gone. Sarah walks over to Ken and gives him a hug. She wants to know if he has ever been to this restaurant. And Ken leisurely says, "Only in my dreams." He, of course, was giving quite the compliment to his girlfriend. After 20 seconds of blush time, Sarah shows Ken to the door. She wants this date to start. Inside the restaurant, a waiter shows these two to their table. Ken looks around while he walks. This place looks fantastic. There is not one empty table. How did Sarah manage to get a table here? She must know somebody who works here. Sarah and Ken have found their seats. She thanks the waiter for ushering them in, and the waiter walks away. She asks Ken how hungry he is, and he makes an eating chicken wings in his underwear joke. Sarah laughs and starts to hold his hand above the table. That joke came from her sweetheart, so she appreciated the humor in it. Sarah wants to know what Ken is in the mood for tonight. Ken says, "For some reason I have a craving for pasta. Do they have pasta here?" Sarah says, "Yeah, that is a good choice. How was your day?" Ken says, "My day is much better now that we are together." Sarah says, "You are such a sweetheart." Ken says, "This place is full. How did you manage to get a table?" Sarah says, "My company knows a guy who knows a guy, and here we are." Ken says, "Oh, okay, sorry for asking." Sarah says, "Seriously, I come here often. They like it when I call ahead." Ken says, "So what do you feel like eating?" Sarah says, "If you're having pasta, I'm going with the roasted chicken. They make it good here." Ken says, "Roasted chicken sounds great. I really like that choice." Sarah says, "The waiter should be back here soon to tell us the specials. I might be open to an interesting dish instead of the roasted chicken." Ken says, "Yeah, chicken can sometimes be boring. Look, the waiter is coming." The waiter says, "Tonight the chef has prepared prime rib. Do you want to see a menu?" Ken says, "Okay, prime rib it is." Sarah says, "2 prime rib dinners, please." The waiter says, "Excellent choice. Can I get you something to drink?" Sarah says, "A 3-year-old bottle of Cabernet Sauvignon, please." The waiter says, "Excellent. I will bring it over soon." Ken says, "I like your taste in wine. So you come here often?" Sarah says, "Yes, I do come here often. I really like this restaurant. The food is amazing." Ken says, "You are amazing. I met one of my neighbors today. It was after work and we are friends now." Sarah says, "That sounds nice. I'm glad for your new friendship." Ken says, Have you ever gotten really good advice, but at the time that you got it, you didn't know it was good advice? Well, Peter is full of wisdom. He is a retired man. He used to work as a lawyer. I have so much respect for him. Sarah says, "Is Peter your new friend in your building? I like him already." Ken says, "Yeah, I visited his apartment and we had coffee. He lives on the lower penthouse floor. His apartment is much larger than mine." Sarah says, "Your apartment is very impressive. I like your shower." Ken says, "Do you want to come over after dinner? I would love to have you over." Sarah says, "Let's take it 1 minute at a time. Our food has not arrived yet." The waiter has come with the bottle of wine that they ordered. He opens the bottle and pours a taste for Ken to try. Ken likes it, so the waiter pours a full glass for the two of them. He then leaves the bottle on the table and walks away. He will return again when the food is ready. Sarah starts to hold Ken's hand over the table again. She wants to establish a physical connection with her boyfriend. And Ken likes the attention. Ken really appreciates their time together and they are not speaking. This together time is very much welcome. Sarah reaches under the table so she can rub Ken's leg. That was a bit unexpected. It is safe to assume that they will share some together time after leaving the restaurant tonight. The prime rib dinners are ready. The food is on the table. The waiter has a smile on his face as he brings the food to the table. Ken thanks Sarah for choosing this restaurant, then starts to eat his dinner. They are very hungry. The food is being eaten at a good pace. They are chatting about how great dinner is and that Ken has not had a prime rib dinner in a very long time. Sarah smiles and mentions how great the wine is. This wine matches perfectly with this dinner. Ken smiles and quietly drinks some wine. After they have finished dinner, the waiter comes around with the bill. Ken pays the bills with his credit card. This couple is smiling and giggling as they exit the restaurant. Ken has the idea of taking a cab back to his apartment. Sarah likes that idea, but she cannot sleep over tonight. That's fine. They both know how tonight is going to play out. They're holding hands in the cab. This cab ride will be a short one. They start to look at each other so they can really see the other person. Hand-holding has turned into kissing. They feel so comfortable with each other. It is amazing to watch the chemistry between these two. The cab driver interrupts just in time to tell his passengers that they have arrived at their destination. $10 should cover the cab fare. Ken pays the bill, and they exit the vehicle. They need to embrace each other in the cool spring air. A long hug, and they start to hold hands again. Getting to Ken's apartment is taking a while because they are lingering outside of the building. It is just such a nice night, and the company is pretty great also. These two have found their way inside the building and into the elevator. The ride up is a quick one. They made it to the 14th floor in no time. Now it is just a matter of entering Ken's apartment. He is smooth with his keys. He unlocks the door and they are in. Ken asks Sarah if she wants anything to drink. She is fine with water. On the couch now. 2 waters for 2 thirsty people. Sarah is noticing something strange on Ken's coffee table. It is a book about farming. She tries to ask about it. Ken explains that he was very curious about the subject, so he went out and bought this book about farming. Sarah smiles. She likes that he can open up to her emotionally. She feels great about their emotional connection. Well, now it is time to share their physical connection. Sarah gets off the couch and puts the farming book back to where she found it. She casually walks away from the couch and towards the bedroom. She wants to know if Ken wants her tonight. Ken is a very lucky man. His girlfriend is incredible. So, the two of them are kissing in the doorway of the bedroom. This is amazing. They don't even need a bed. The kissing leads to touching. The touching leads to removing clothes. These two are so great together. There, they have found the bed. Under the covers they go. After making love, it is now time to get dressed. Sarah is looking for her clothes while Ken is laying in bed watching her. How did he ever get so lucky to find a woman like Sarah? Sarah is amazing. After watching his girlfriend get dressed, Ken gets the energy to get out of bed and find his clothes. Sarah tells him that she had a fantastic date, but now it is time for her to get going. Ken understands. He understands that she needs to go home tonight. Ken makes a joke about farming mangoes, and she laughs hard. That was a good one. Well, anyway, time to go. They say goodbye, they share a hug, and Sarah is out the door. Ken walks into the living room so he can take a good look at the farming book. He picks the book up. He lifts it and lowers it a few times as if he is weightlifting. He wants to know how heavy the book is. After assessing the weight of the book, he calmly places it on a nearby bookshelf. There, he can now put farming behind him. Ken is curious as to what Greg is up to. He knows that Greg is seeing Laura, and he knows that Greg has noticed a slight change in him. Yes, Greg knows him that well. So, with farming behind Ken, he feels ready to contact his best friend. Usually by Monday, Ken knows Greg's work schedule, but not this week. It is possible that Greg's day off during the week has already happened. So Ken calls his best friend. Greg says, "Hello." Ken says, "Hi Greg, it's me." Greg says, "Hi there, buddy. What's the plan for tonight?" Ken says, "Well, I have work tomorrow. How about you? What does your schedule look like?" Greg says, "I miss you, buddy. Where have you been lately?" Ken says, "I have traveled to Mars and back. I was always here." So tonight, what about tonight? Greg says, "Do you feel like going out with me?" Ken says, "Of course. Yeah, I do want to go out. Where and when, buddy?" Greg says, "Me and Laura didn't work out. She is not really my type. How about Sarah?" Ken says, "Sarah is the woman for me. She is exactly right." Greg says, "Cool, buddy. Okay, where and when?" "There is a bar near you that I think will be busy tonight. We can meet there in 20 minutes. Ken says, "That sounds great. I will see you there." They hang up the phone together. Ken has picked out his clothes for tonight. He is so happy that Greg wants to go out. Very curious about Laura. Maybe they will meet somebody tonight. Yeah, that's the plan. Greg needs to find a girlfriend. One more shoe, and Ken is ready to go out. He quickly looks in the bathroom mirror, and he is out of his apartment. Ken is now waiting for Greg to show up. He has been at their meeting spot for at least 3 minutes. That's fine. Ken doesn't mind waiting. It gives him a chance to collect his thoughts. He is very happy with his girlfriend. He feels that she might be the one. There, Greg has just arrived. He looks very happy to see Ken. They say hello, and how are you? Greg doesn't want to waste any time. He wants to see just how busy the bar can get on a Monday. The two of them enter the bar. Yes, there are a lot of people out and about tonight. It almost feels as busy as it would be on the weekend. Greg has been spotted by one of his ex-girlfriends. She says hello to him. He is so surprised to see her. She quickly gives him a hug. He is not sure where this hug is going, but he likes the attention. Greg invites her to join them at the table. She likes that idea. So, table for 3. Ken feels weird about being the third wheel, so he excuses himself briefly. He walks towards the bar. He hopes that these two could reconnect. He wants them to remember the good times that they had together. Well, he has been away from the table for long enough. As he returns, he sees them holding hands. Ken knows exactly where this is going. So he thanks Greg for coming out tonight. He says goodbye to Jennifer, and Ken is on his way home. Just as Ken sits down on his couch, Greg sends his friend a text message. Thanks for coming out tonight. I miss Jennifer so much. She might be my girlfriend. That was a nice message. Ken really appreciates the timing of it. Well, it is time for bed. That concludes this chapter. I hope you enjoyed listening. Again, if you want to read along with me, then you should pick up a copy of my ebook from Kindle. Goodbye until the next chapter.